Now then everybody, so before this week's video gets started, what I would like to do is first thank everybody on the channel who has subscribed so far. We finally hit over 100 subscribers, so I'm really grateful for your help getting there. If you visited this video and you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing below and give this video a thumbs up like if you enjoy the content. Right, so in this week's video, what I wanted to do was compare the 5.1K video mode, which is embedded in the 6K photo mode of the Panasonic S1, versus the 4K 10-bit 422 that the S1 can deliver already. So in just a moment, I'm going to show the video footage, and what I'd like you guys to do is drop a comment in the comment section below on which you prefer. Did you prefer the 5K or do you prefer the 4K video modes? Right, if you've not already done so, drop a comment in the comment section below on which footage you prefer. Did you prefer the 5K that's been downsampled to the 4K DCI, or did you prefer the 4K that was slightly upscaled to suit the 4K DCI timeline? So what I'm going to do is jump straight into the good points that I found and the bad points, and then at the end of this video I'm just going to summarize it with my overall thoughts on this whole process. First things first, the good points of using the 5.1K mode. Ultimately, that image straight from the camera is crystal sharp, and I was really quite impressed with the resolution. The standard picture profile gives a really amazing color and contrast reproduction. Really happy with the standard picture profile with this. Obviously it's 10-bit, only 420, so it was a bit tricky using Vlog, but I'll tell you more about that later on. Jumping straight into what this footage was like in post, it could more than handle a very basic colour correction and a very basic colour grade. The next good point is the noise. Now this could be down to the picture profile and the noise denoising that happens within the S1, but there was really little noise coming straight from the camera with that 5.1K footage. Obviously, with this 5.1K footage, I had lots of room at the top and bottom of my footage to work with. This is a bit of a double point. It also means that if you needed to do any post-processing zooms or zoom outs, you've got a little bit of room to work with there as well. So yeah, really happy with that flexibility. And that brings us onto the bad points. So the first thing I noticed was the dynamic range. Ultimately, because I was just using the standard picture profile and only having 420 codec to work with, I found that that really impacted the dynamic range when it came to color grading and color correction using the 5.1K footage. This leads me into the V-Log issues. So you can film with V-Log, but what I found was it really struggled with pushing too far with the color correction and then ultimately the color grade. I was getting some really unusual hue problems, especially with those real distant mountain shots. The last thing I want to talk about is how laggy this footage made my computer editing. So playback of the footage in full resolution wasn't happening. Even when I downsampled on the monitor of the computer to a half and a quarter, the footage was still laggy, super laggy. When I added a bit of a color correction onto there, it was super laggy, and I kept having to render the whole entire sequence every time I wanted to play with the image slightly to try to get those contrasty looks. If I was to overall summarize this, it's a really difficult one. Every time I played back the footage, I was still blown away by the resolution difference, and also straight from the camera in standard picture profile, the color grade was really nice, the color reproduction was really nice. There was a few shots where my own personal errors came through, such as leaving the auto white balance on. If the sun came out, emerged, it would really sort of play with the temperature as I was filming, so that was user error. Right, so that's been a bit of a larger video than I'd expected. Hopefully you guys saw thought the comparison was good, and again, please don't forget to leave your comment down below on which footage you prefer. It'd be really interesting to see what you guys think at home as well. And lastly, again, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you've not already done so, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.